Hi, Victoria.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Craig.
No, can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, no, I can't.
Where are you?
What? I'm in Hawaii. Where else?
Sure you are.
Yeah,
Where's your Hawaiian shirt?
right here. It's on. Yeah, for some reason. I bought it in Hawaii. For some reason it's very dark here. I don't know. Must be the bright sun in the background, the waves.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Wow, another birthday person.
Thank you.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, God. A couple more people here. Hi, Nate.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
As everybody is a little bit anxious and wants to go and play. I've been talking to a lot of people last week, and everybody's kind of a little bit on the edge. So, including me. I just want to go and do my routine, go out and put my open house signs in the morning and pick them up on Sunday and do what I have to do. So how we're going to do this today, I just kind of want to give you a quick update as far as the real estate, what's going on, and then I have two special guests today, and Victoria that has a birthday today. And and I worked with her last few years. She owns the staging company, so I asked her to come out and just kind of give a few pointers. And if in the future you're thinking about selling, to kind of what you need to do, how to prepare it, and also what, as far as the services, what she provides, and maybe she can give you pointers if you want to redecorate your house. You still have time. So and then I have Nate, that I known for a long time, very long time, and he owns a small business, and he's a personal trainer. So I come up with this idea because I've been bombarded, like, through social media with all the diets, all the exercises, and it's like, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, I thought about Nate, and I'm like, maybe he's gonna give us a few pointers and kind of pitch in his business, and that's how we're gonna end up. And then if there's any questions, we can answer questions in the end. Sounds good? Craig, what do you have?
A small dog.
Is it real?
I don't know. Is it real? Yes, I'm real.
All right. Well, quick update as far as the real estate. What are we doing? Well, in Cypress, we have over the last month, April, 14 active listings that came on the market are still active. 14, that's not a lot. 20 properties went to escrow, so properties are still selling, and 21 properties closed escrow. So it's still very active real estate market, and properties are moving. And it's, I was thinking about that, that this COVID-19, it really made this real estate a seller's market. There's three components that that happened. First, the inventory is very low, very, very low. So if you're thinking about putting the home on the market, I think it's a really good time, and I get it. Everybody's scared with the COVID and this and that, but we really do take precautions. And I mean, I don't see any prices going down yet. So it's pretty active sellers market. The second component is the interest rate is low. Some banks are not lending with less than 20% down. Hi, Joe. And FICO score, it needs to be over 700, which for the sellers, it's a perfect buyer. Yeah, we have less buyers, but once the buyer is going to escrow, it's a pretty solid transaction. And the third thing is, it's, you know, when I go on the listing appointments, the sellers always tell me, say, Kathy, don't bring just anybody. We want just pre-approved buyers. And I think this is the perfect market for that, because really only people that are really serious, they going actually in person and looking at the properties. So it's just my idea about, you know, COVID sellers market, but that's what I see, at least in our area. And again, you know, every market is different, but here around Cypress, surrounding areas, that's what we've seen. And Victoria does staging, and you're still busy, right?
Yeah, we're actually busier than normal. Crazy busy. Yeah.
So that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So yeah, if anybody is thinking about still getting a really good price for their home, I think it's a great opportunity to do that. And for all of you that are looking for bank foreclosures, not yet, because banks are not allowed to foreclose yet. So if you're looking for those great deals that are, you know, bank foreclosures, repos, that they're not there yet. So are they gonna be coming? I don't know. It's all depend how, you know, after the country is open, and you know what is all gonna do. So we will just wait and see. And this is my thoughts for kind of today. And I'm gonna ask Victoria to talk about her business, and if anybody's thinking to put the property on the market, and also if you're just thinking about the redecorating while staying at home. And you know, we've been closed up for over a month, and maybe you don't like your house to decorate it as it is now. So I will turn it over to Victoria, and why don't you tell us a little bit about business, and just give us some pointers and ideas on how we can make it all better.
Sounds good. So I'm Victoria, and I own Staged and Sold, which is a home staging company based in Hawaiian Gardens, borderline Lakewood, so pretty close to Cypress. We service all over Southern California. So we go from San Clemente to San Bernardino to Encino and everywhere in between. We do home staging where we'll do partial, where maybe you live in the home or it just needs a light touch here and there. Maybe you have great pieces. We definitely can help with rearranging them or accentuating them, adding some cool pieces to it. We also do vacant staging. So maybe you're moving out and you need to have furniture brought in. We do all of that and in between. So right now, yeah, we are super busy right now, which is a really good sign and a great thing, obviously, if you're a seller on the seller side as well. Most of the homes we've been selling or staging have been going into escrow very quickly as well, or beating out competitors that have been on the market for a while, which is always a great thing to get days on market lower or also be sold over asking. So that's really the goal with staging, is when we bring in furniture, we're capturing buyers' attention and making properties stand out and show people layouts and things that they can't visually see. So that's our job, is to show people what they visually aren't able to see by placing furniture and creating these layouts to define spaces for people. So buyers that aren't visual people, they understand, they engage in the space, and they fall in love with it. And I always go back to model homes because it's the best comparison for people. Is staging is like when you go to those model homes where it's beautiful, you love it, it's gorgeous, you fall in love, there's a connection. And then you go next door to the vacant unit and it's empty and it's cold. There's no love, no life, no connection at all. And you're like, well, this one's not as nice as the one next door. And that's the whole point. I want to make like a relationship, a connection with a home and a space and keep buyers in the home longer so then they really fall in love with it. So a home doesn't even have to be a more renovated home. It could also be an older home, which is great. Really kind of deter people and show people the potential of a home instead of them walking into an empty home that maybe is dated and think, oh, well, this kitchen's outdated, this is outdated. And they create this checklist like in their brain of, oh, all these negatives. So you want to show people that there's less negatives than what they see. So you really want to kind of play a mind game with them that, hey, we're going to make this home look appealing, regardless if it needs to be updated or things like that aren't to the most current times of what the colors are or style. So it's really our job is to come in to make it look appealing and deter people from crossing your home off their list. So that's some of the top tips I give people before we even come in to do staging. Let's say it is an occupied home, is removing personal photos. That's the number one thing I tell people is remove your personal photos. We want other buyers to come in and visualize themselves living in your home, not what the current homeowner is or who lived here. We want them to feel like this is their potential home. So removing any kind of photo you have on your wall, your wedding photos or photos on your fridge. Same thing with any kind of personal items. If you have like little toys, things you can pack away that you don't need on a day-to-day basis, I always recommend to pack them away. Because you want to go on the market with your right foot going forward the first time and looking the best you can. You want to look at it as like you're going on a date. You want to look to impress. You want to go out going the right way the first time to really capture buyers. So those are some essential tips. Another one is we do go into homes that have religious pieces. So you want to neutralize the space. And that's the key to really kind of think about is you really want to make your home neutralized. So removing any kind of religious pieces, things that might attract a buyer and say, hey, I just can't get off fixating on this one item. Just the more neutral. Less clutter is better as well in a home. So if you have cluttered things on a horizontal surface, so your nightstands, your dressers, kitchen counters, things like that, I always recommend to remove items like that on any kind of horizontal surface, which will really clean up a space and just make it look more neutralized and bare. Those are really the most critical and top tips you guys can do. And you'll see how much clutter you actually have when you just remove those pieces. And a lot of people, it's great. It'll just make the home look better and look great from the beginning. So you're spending less days on market. And then if you decide to stage, that's when we would come in after you've kind of done your homework and your background work that we've recommended for you. And we can come in, we can place things like rugs and plants and art and decor, accessories throughout those spaces. Or if it's a vacant home, we'll bring everything in from sofas to coffee table sets, dining table sets. And summertime is really popular for patios. So really also focusing on your patio spaces is really good too. If you have a great feature in your backyard, front yard, really cleaning those spaces up to showcase them. We see a lot of people that want to do these areas when we stage. So those are very important areas that people like to highlight, especially now we're stuck at home. Where else can we go? Our backyard. So making those areas pop and just look as great as they can be is really important right now.
Do you give suggestion people as far as the yard too, like as far as when they want to put a home on the market? Do you give them suggestion, hey, move this and this, and or you basically stay within inside of the home?
No, I can do exterior as well. So we also advise you can have like a consultation or advise on maybe like landscaping ideas or little things you could do to make the backyard pop, the front yard. If you have the budget to paint, let's say, or do minor touch-ups, I could also recommend you colors, things like that, like minimal changes that you guys could do to make sure the home just has that curb appeal from the front, the backyard looks good, and I can give all that kind of information as well. So we do definitely do that.
Okay. So if somebody wants to get hold of you, what's your information as far as the phone number and the name of the company, and if you can type it for us in the chat, that way everybody has your information.
Yes, I'll put it in my chat right there. We're on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Yelp. We're on kind of social media platforms. Instagram's a great place, and Facebook to see homes we stage weekly, see before and afters, and I'll put all of our information in the chat as well.
Okay, awesome. And do we have any questions for Victoria? No questions? No questions?
Makes a
No
lot of
questions.
sense.
That's it?
All I got.
All right. Thank you so much, Victoria, for coming in and give us those advices, and
You're welcome.
greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I worked with Victoria before, and it really, her staging is awesome, and it really helps to make those pictures look wonderful, and especially in a time like right now. I think it's very important to, the photos are very important, all the tours, and we do 3D tours right now, and I think that is very, very important. So thank you so much,
You're welcome.
and happy birthday again.
Thank you.
And Nate, I want to introduce to everybody Nate. He's a personal trainer. And like I said, I came up with this idea to invite him, and he graciously agreed because, you know, it's last few days, last few weeks, I've been cooking a lot. And unfortunately, it's not as a good food. I mean, it's good, but it's not good. So especially, you know, I've been cooking a lot of Polish food because I think it's a comfort food for me. And I think that's a lot of us, you know, tend to do that when uncertain times, confusing times, you want something to comfort you. So Polish food is very rich, and pastries and all of that. And it's just so good that it's so bad. So, and gyms are closed. So, and you know, when I go on social media, right, even, or emails, you're just bombarded with all kinds of diets. And everybody says, this work, this doesn't work. Exercise doesn't matter, the food matters. It's 20% is the exercise, 80% is the food you're eating. And it's just like, finally, it's like, what do you do? What do you have to cut down on? And I always thought I'm a healthy eater. Even my friend always says, she says, gosh, you're the healthiest eater ever. Well, I guess I'm not, because I don't want to get up, because then you're going to see how much weight I gain. So anyway, I'm going to turn over to Nate. If you, I mean, tell us a little bit about your business, and how do you work with your clients right now? And as far as, do you only advise them on exercises, or do you advise them on the nutrition as well? If you can share that with us, that would be awesome.
Okay, no problem. My name's Nate Alexander. I've been a personal trainer for 20 years now in Long Beach. I work primarily one-on-one and in small groups, so less than 4. That's when we can go to the gym. Currently, I've been doing online coaching, whereas I program people for the week and then guide them through the week as far as how they're doing on their program and this and that, and also one-on-one Zoom calls. So you kind of have to shift with the times. So basically what I did was I took that to an online platform, and that's how I work with people then, so that they can still continue to do their activities based on what they have in their house. And so if they need a little more guidance, then we do it via Zoom call. So that's what I've been doing under this pandemic set of circumstances. To address your questions, this is a different kind of time right now. People are in the house. They're maybe not moving as much, and obviously food is a great coping mechanism. So so yeah, I totally feel your pain on that one. The key 3 things I'd say to do right now are to number 1, establish a routine. Right now we're so thrown off with our not being in our regular going out to work, going out to do this, sort of a routine that it's easy to fall into, a just what day is today, what, you know, like, and
Right.
and since we are stuck at home, we're also moving less. So definitely with that routine, put something in your routine to get you moving more. We can still go outside, so you can walk, run, bike, pretty much anything you can do outside. You can do yard work, you can do, and even projects around the house. I've found myself digging into spots of my house that I forgot about. Like, oh my gosh, this closet is like, I was like, what? I pulled stuff out of there. I was like, what? I haven't seen this in years. Yeah. But also with, digging into that, I burned more calories and got, my heart rate up and was moving stuff around. And this is just something that can help you through staying active. So like you're talking about, the food that you eat is more rich and more, quote, calorie heavy. Having these extra activities through the day at least help you kind of burn some of those calories. Because otherwise, if it's just Netflix all day, your calorie budget is low, and if you're overdoing it, then it's going to stick somewhere. So
Right.
that's a big challenge. Some things you can do at home though that make it really easy, since maybe not everybody goes to the gym, maybe they do. If your routine is off, a real simple thing you can do is pick up a resistance band. So these were like gold when we first got locked down, but you can get them now. So they were really hard to find, but now you can get them on Amazon and you can find them in stores again. But they were really hard to find. But they give you a pretty versatile way of setting up some sort of resistance exercises. When you don't have a gym to go to, and you can take them along with, like, if you go on a walk, you can take them along with you, stop, do a quick set of couple different things, and then get going. So you have more of a circuit type of an exercise. Just gives you a little bit more of a well-rounded workout, so that you're not, just walking, which is great, gets your heart rate up, works your legs a little bit, but you can get the arms going, you can get the upper body going, and it's really easy. You just kind of, if you're out walking, you can throw it over your shoulders like this, go to town. What I've done with some people is had them set timers. So you set a timer for 2 minutes, walk for 2 minutes, stop, do a couple of exercises, go again. Real easy way to just get more activity. Yeah, I would say, getting up and moving more is the key. Having a routine is the key. As far as foods go, I don't want to put myself in a box because there's no right and wrong. It's really circumstantial. So if there's certain foods that you like, then maybe it's just having a little bit less. If there's certain foods that don't really work so well for you, it's kind of, the writing on the wall is pretty clear. Like if you have a specific goal, don't have so much of that food. If you're relaxing right now, have some, but in moderation. I mean, because I know there's a diet for everything, and there's a diet that works for everybody. It's just a matter of finding what works. When I work with people on their nutrition, we have what's called an owner's manual, where you come to the table knowing, okay, I know these foods don't sit well with me. These foods tend to make me feel sluggish. These foods tend to make me, I gain weight really easily on those. Okay, we put those in the owner's manual, so all right, well, if your goal is this, maybe don't have that, or have less of that, because it's gonna. Or if your goal is to feel better, and this makes your joints hurt, we don't do that. So, but otherwise, there's no hard and fast rules, because not everybody responds the same to certain foods. Under the whole pandemic, I've fallen down the YouTube hole, and so I tend to get stuck on different topics. And I've been following a couple of different people who have eliminated certain foods that are fairly benign foods. They're not dangerous foods at all, but they've discovered for themselves that those foods don't work well for them. They've triggered, inflammation or sleeplessness or insomnia, whatever. And it's just a discovery process. So when I'm working with someone nutrition-wise, like we take a little inventory beforehand of things that they've noticed in their lives, and then they of course discover more as they add more foods in, and go, yeah, you know what, this food doesn't work for me. This food makes me sluggish. This food, I've always gained weight in the past on it. Okay, so now your owner's manual has more of those types of foods. So.
Jeez, I feel like I just look at the food and smell it and I gain weight.
Yeah. Well, the trick there is unfortunately, don't surround yourself with it. it's kind
But
of
it
the rule.
smells so good.
I know. Oh, I know. But when someone is specific on something like that, I tell them, I say, especially if you're living alone or you don't have a lot of people in your house, it's a lot easier to do it. If you have kids, that's a
Yeah.
problem because you're going to have food for them. You're eating a chicken nugget off their plate. You're finishing the rest of their dinner. But if it's just you or just, you and one other person, it's a lot easier to kind of set yourself up for success by just having the foods that you want in your body,
Yeah, with the Polish food, what it is, it's not like you can just cook for one person. So when I make it, I have it for the whole week. And I'm like, I'm not that person that's gonna throw the food away. So I'm just gonna eat it and eat it and eat it, and finally I'm okay. I got this out of my system. I'm fine now. So
Kathy, you have neighbors that could, take some of that food away from you.
I actually offered to my neighbors right there next to
There you
me. Oh, you're my neighbor.
Well, that's a person that might take some apple cake from you. You never know.
I see. All right. Well, next time I cook something, I'll definitely drive by there and wearing my mask and gloves.
Of course.
So anyway, I have a question for you. What's more important, the cardio or the weights?
Okay, so 2 schools of thought. Cardio is a calorie burner, so that's awesome. Like for your overall, if your goal specifically is to burn more calories in a day, cardio will do that quickly. However, weights are important for maintaining your muscle mass, which is actually what overall increases your metabolism. So it's not an if or. It's a matter of it's a kind of a twofold attack. So if your goal is fat loss, you want to come at it from I burn calories right now and I burn calories all day. So it's kind of I always think of changing your body as a budget. So you have a certain budget. You always want to go over your budget. And what that means is you go over your budget on your activity and you stay under budget on your eating. So what happens is eventually your budget goes down, and so this is what your savings account goes down. Your savings account is the stuff that sits around your midsection. So if you spend more than you're taking in, you're in good shape in this case. This is the only time when you want to spend more than you're taking in.
That. Like that.
It's not a comfortable way to explain it, but it tends to work for most people. If you're bleeding out, we'll say, I don't want to say gravy, but if you're definitely losing more than you're taking in, that's what sets you up for success. So cardio will burn more of the calories, but we'll say muscle will increase your budget. So.
Okay.
So I got a question for Nate.
Mm-hmm.
So the good old days, 6 weeks ago, before we went into hibernation or whatever you want to call it, I was going to the gym every day, and of course the gym went away. But at some point I'll get to go back to the gym. In the meantime, I walk the thing that looks like a dog every so often. But when I was going to the gym, I would typically start off with 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, like an elliptical or something to get the heart rate up and get me sweating. And then the rest of the time, another 30, 40 minutes of doing like a circuit training, where I go and, do various muscle groups, usually do pushing one day and pulling the next day. So it wasn't the same. So to me, I was kind of getting a bit of cardio and a bit of, weight lifting, if you will. Is that a good plan because that was at least an hour a day that I was doing that. And I felt better. I wasn't necessarily losing that much weight, but at least I felt better. Is that
Absolutely.
a good plan for gym exercise, or would you recommend something different?
Absolutely. It depends on how many days you go. I mean, breaking it up into like a push day, pull day, It's a little more advanced if you're going very regularly, like almost every day. It's great because it gives your body time to recover from, you
Yeah,
know,
so that's why I switched to that, because I was going 7 days a week.
yeah.
Maybe I'd miss 1 day or 2 days a month, but I was pretty much going every single day.
Yeah, yeah. Then that's where spreading it out like that throughout the week allows for your recovery to kind of take hold. Because a lot of times people will go full body all the time, and they're always sore, or they're not recovering as fast. So that's where partitioning it off to maybe upper body, lower body, or pushing and pulling, and different variations of that are more recommended if you're going 6-7 days a week. Just so that your body can recuperate and be ready the next time.
Okay.
Yeah. So otherwise, yeah, it's a good plan. Warming up's always great, gets your heart rate up, and then jumping right into the weights is awesome because you're keeping the heart rate up. So that
Yeah,
kind of
that's kind of what my goal was. Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. Do you guys have any other questions for Nate? No questions? Nate, do you still meet clients right now, or it's just via Zoom, or?
So I'm doing it. I'm doing one-on-ones on Zoom for people that want a little more guidance.
Uh-huh.
So but as of right now, I've been doing a lot of online coaching. So what it is I program. I do a coaching call on Sunday with an individual, and then we do how we do it. Initially, we set up. I have them show me around their space, show me what equipment they have, and then from there, I build their program for the week, and then we go week by week from there. Where I have a coaching call on Sunday. How'd the week go? Anything? Did you buy any new equipment? Have any struggles? Was this too easy? Too hard? And then revise their program for the next week, and then we've been going kind of on a week by week basis right now, just because we're not sure when anything's going to open up, but it's at least keeping them accountable because I can see what they're doing via an app that we're using. So we're using an app, so I can see what they're doing. I know when I schedule out their workouts through the week, so they know, oh shoot, Wednesday's coming, I got to do this or that. I put everything from exercises and things like that to go walking on Wednesday. So it can be that specific as far as accountability goes. Just depends on what they need. So that's what I've been doing right now, just because with the distance, that's all we can do,
Right.
So I have a couple of people that we're still doing Zoom training, where I walk them through, everything. I mean, virtually walk them through everything and make sure they're still being safe with what they have. But it's working out pretty well. A couple of people are doing that, but I have about 5 or 6 people that are doing, about 6 or 7 people now doing the online coaching as well. So.
That sounds good. Well, do you guys have any other questions for Nate? No? Then Nate, if you can type out your information in the chat room, and just how people can get hold of you, and you still coaching at No Limits, right?
I was gonna talk to you about that later, but I may be transitioning to back to my old spot up here near Lakewood.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just a smaller location. Looking at coming out of this pandemic situation, I don't know if gym size is going to play a factor. No Limits being a very large gym, this is a very small boutique style gym where social distancing and more individualized, I don't want to say individualized training, more private type training can be done, I think. Whereas,
Right.
The other one is a lot of classes, a lot of trainers running around going this and that. This is a very small setting, and which allows for a lot more options. Being across from Hartwell Park allows for park workouts and more, like I said, social distancing and open air type exercises. So
I gotta talk to you about that.
yeah, I may be transitioning to that. I've already spoken to her and the owner there, and so we'll see. It's a location. I mean, I'm very familiar with it. I started out there. I was there for 11 years, but it's something I'm leaning towards right now, just in light of all the phases that we're supposed to be opening up. I want to be at least on the forefront of being able to be open
Right.
when the opportunity arises, So.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining in. I so do appreciate that. And hopefully we're gonna be let out soon, because I really want to be let out soon. So anyway, it's really hard to know what the real truth all about this is. It's like I stopped listening to the news because I'm just confused. So I think it's just that confusion that I don't like, and what is really real, So anyway, well, thank you so much for coming, you guys. Pam and Joe, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you.
And they're just awesome. I love you guys. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Craig. You always supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you, Nate. And hopefully see you next Saturday. And I will send some announcements. And I hope you guys have a nice weekend.
The same.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.